welcome to this edition of Focus on Film.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. We were talking before, we're a bit rusty, so we apologize if we're bad. We have a lot of time to fill this time, so...
we got an extra 3 minutes.
Yeah, we do. We upsized
We did.
this time, but we've got 3 good movies to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the information that we always give you. So I guess we'll get right into that.
Let's jump right into the box office.
All right, we will. Number 5 is True Grit. Number 4 is The King's Speech. Number 3 is The Dilemma. Number 2 is The Green Hornet. And number 1 is No Strings Attached. Do you agree with this box office?
Well, I've only seen one of the films on the top 5. And it was really good, so I'm kind of sad to see it at 5th place, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But The King's Speech, the trailer looked amazing, and I cannot wait to see it. I just haven't had a chance, but it looks so good, and I'm surprised that No Strings Attached and The Dilemma are higher up than it is.
Oh, I know. Well, see, the thing is No Strings Attached is basically the only chick flick that's out right now.
But I heard it wasn't even good. I've read some nasty reviews.
I don't want to watch it, but and The King's Speech, I don't know. People just don't go and watch the good movies anymore.
The King's Speech, from what I've seen and from what I've read, it's not going to be. It's not a mainstream film.
Right, and I'm actually surprised it's in the top 5. Really, I mean, it deserves to be there, but I'm surprised that it's there.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's a really sort of weird genre. It's it's one of those things that it's like reading a really good novel is the best way I could compare it to. There's not going to be like, any. There might be some actiony scenes, but nothing. Not a lot of, pies at the screen.
Right.
So kids aren't going to like it.
And anybody who knows me knows that I love Colin Firth, and he won Best Actor for the Golden Globes for this, and he's up for Best Actor for an Oscar award.
Yeah,
so.
you've got to be into history a bit
to
enjoy it too. So
yeah, and The Dilemma I think will be kind of funny. Green Hornet we're going to talk about later, so that pretty much covers the box office. Opening this week in theaters, we've got The Mechanic, The Right. I'm going to pronounce this as Beautiful, even though it's not spelled that way. And From Prada to Nada. And I just love that title.
From Prada to Nada.
I love it. I don't know what it's about, but I love it. The Mechanic is going to be it's going to be a bit gory.
It's going to be every movie that he's been in.
Jason Statham.
Yes. The same sort of thing. Yeah, it's like Transporter all over again is the way it looks. So.
Yeah.
I don't know, you see a couple of his movies, and I guess you've pretty much seen all of his movies.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with Ben Foster because he was starting to break out as an amazing actor, and everyone's talking about his acting chops, and then he does something like this. I mean, I know every actor kind of wants to
Money.
get there, yeah, but I don't know.
So, The Right, it looks pretty good.
I don't know what it is. Tell me what it is.
I know nothing about it.
Oh, okay.
But... it looks like it's going to be pretty scary.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I do know what it is. It's the, yeah, my mind just went blank. Is it the one with Silence of the Lambs?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anthony, no. Oh, my gosh. Anyway,
Forgive
you know
us.
who we're talking about. My name goes blank on the...
We've been very busy here.
Yeah, my memory goes blank on these.
But I haven't seen a good scary movie in a while, so I think I'll go check it out.
Yeah. It's not one for me. I don't really like those types of movies, but yeah, you'll have to tell us if it's good.
I will tell you.
Okay, so let's get into the reviews. I'll review Yogi Bear first.
Tell us about Yogi Bear.
Well, Yogi Bear, I went to see it with my niece and nephew. They asked me to, and I can't really tell them no. So
you can, but then you'd be the bad guy.
But yeah, it's hard for me to tell them no. But I watched it with them, and it's not a horrible movie. Kids, don't get me wrong, kids will love this movie. They will. It's got everything in there that a kid would love, and my niece and nephew absolutely loved it, and they're 8 and 10 years old. But yeah, there just wasn't enough adult humor to where the adults would understand certain things or laugh at certain things for it to be both.
Yeah, because usually we see a lot now in children's movies that even though they're a children's movie, at least half of the humor is geared towards older people.
Right. And there were a couple of jokes in there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did laugh throughout the movie, but it just wasn't great. But Dan Aykroyd is the voice of Yogi Bear. And it was a bit like, I've been describing it as Dan Aykroyd doing an impression of Yogi Bear, which kind of gets on your nerves after a while. Justin Timberlake, on the other hand, was Boo Boo.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did not know it throughout the whole movie because he sounds completely different. I don't know if they've altered his voice or if he did it himself, but he did a really good job.
He got really into character for Boo Boo.
Yeah, he did. This is his Oscar right here. Forget The Social Network. This is his Oscar. And then Tom Cavanaugh is the main guy. He plays Ranger Smith. And I love him, even though nobody really knows who he is. But he was in a TV series called Ed that ran 4 seasons a while back. And I fell in love with him there. I loved that show, and it's still not released on DVD, which kills me. So it's a runtime of 80 minutes, rated PG, so it's for the kiddies.
For the kiddies.
Directed by Eric Brevig, and it's a Warner Brothers film. So if you've got kids and they want to go see it, take them to it. It is a wholesome movie. They will enjoy it.
Be warned, you will get pie in the face.
Yeah. Yes, I didn't see it in 3D, but there was a lot of effects there that would be good to see it in 3D. So, the next one, The Green Hornet. Do you want to talk about True Grit first?
Let's do The Green Hornet.
Okay. Green Hornet, I went to see it last night. Did see this one in 3D. And, there are effects in there that it was for the 3D. And I'm not really sure if it was shot in 3D or if it was then remastered in 3D. Mm-hmm. But either way, it looked good. So, it didn't look cheesy.
So it's probably shot in 3D then.
Yeah. It stars Seth Rogen and a newcomer to the United States, Jake Chow. A lot of people thought it was a guy from Harold and Kumar, but it is not.
People are impressed with this guy.
Yeah, I was impressed with him. I'd never heard of him before. He's a young guy, and apparently in China he's very well known, and he's like this music producer, and he sings, and he's got his own clothing line and all this stuff. Yeah,
this guy is just in every industry.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what, I'm going to do an action movie.
Yeah, and his role model is Bruce Lee. Duh.
Oh, yeah,
you look at him and you know that. And he was amazing at martial arts in the movie. But it's rated PG-13. It's about 2 hours long. And it's directed by Michael Gondry, I believe. Written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, which are friends. And the funny story about it is that Seth Rogen lost a ton of weight for this role.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wanted to be cast in it himself, and they wrote it because he wanted to be a superhero, and he knew no one would ever put him in a superhero
So
movie.
he had to do it himself.
Yeah, so he wrote it himself.
Oh, that's great.
Which I think is great, and, taking the reins and doing what you have to do. But it was a good movie, and I don't really know much about the comic books.
Yeah, me neither.
Or the original TV series or radio series, because they've had tons of different ones.
Again, this would be a perfect time to have Dustin on the show.
Well, I talked to Dustin, and Dustin said it was really nothing like, the older series, but I loved it. And since I wasn't already, well known with that,
and
I wasn't biased.
I'm guessing that most people aren't going to know a lot about the history of the Green Hornet.
It didn't really get great reviews, though. So, I don't know, but I liked it. So, I was excited about it.
I'm probably still going to go see it. I just have been so busy, haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, all the people I went with loved it, and thought that was girls and guys, so it's for everybody, I guess. Now, moving on to True Grit, it is a remake of the 1969 film with John Wayne. It stars Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, Josh Brolin, am I saying that right? Yeah.
It's rated PG-13, has a runtime of about 110 minutes, and it's directed by the Coen brothers. So the basic, without trying to give too much away, the basic story is that a little girl's father is killed in a dispute over some horses by an outlaw who's been running up the entire West and robbing banks along the entire way. And this girl sets out on a mission to find and kill the man responsible. So she ends up hiring Jeff Bridges to hunt him down, and they go on the adventure.
So this is a Western.
It is a Western.
So
it's very Western.
Yeah, very Western. So if people who don't normally like Westerns, would they
I
like
hate
this?
Westerns. I hate Westerns. I've not enjoyed a Western as long as I can remember, and I love this movie. This movie makes me want to watch more Westerns.
How is Jeff Bridges in this?
This is probably his best role I've ever seen him in. He's just so into...
better than The Big Lebowski?
Better. He's just so into character, and it's so believable, and he's just so fun in this movie. It's hard to describe.
And what about Matt Damon? Because he's got that typical Boston accent and everything. I just can't imagine him in a Western.
Matt Damon, okay, I just need to say this. The performances on everyone's end is amazing in this film. Mm-hmm. Except Matt Damon.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
He's just the least believable out of all of them. Everyone in this movie you can see living in the West in the past and being these characters. And he just doesn't come across as true. I think they maybe could have got someone better. Mm-hmm. But he's almost got sort of like a dorky, I'm trying to be really Western feel to it. But that sort of fits his character, so it kind of works.
So does he play like the sidekick or what?
He's also after the criminal, and him and Jeff Bridges sort of clash along the way and work together along the way.
Gotcha.
But yeah, their chemistry and it makes for a lot of the laughs in the movie.
Okay. So you loved it.
I loved it. I wouldn't take small kids. I wouldn't take people who don't normally watch. I normally don't watch Westerns, and I loved it. So maybe take someone who doesn't normally like Westerns. If you like Westerns, and you can probably get them into it.
So maybe I'll go check it out, because the thing that was keeping me from it is because I hate Westerns.
Oh yeah, I hate Westerns too. But just the performances and the dialogue it's just amazing. So.
All right. Sounds good. Let's get to the rest of the information.
Yep.
Coming soon in theaters, we've got Sanctum, The Roommate, Frankie and Alice, Just Go With It, and Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, yeah.
That is the movie that my niece and nephew are really looking forward to.
It's basically Romeo and Juliet with gnomes.
Yeah, it is.
So if you're a big gnome fan.
Or a big Romeo and Juliet fan and you want to see it in a different way, a different light. I don't know if William Shakespeare really imagined this when he wrote Romeo and Juliet, or if he imagined the one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah.
I still can't get over that one, but anyway, it looked pretty cute, and it's in 3D. I think.
Everything's in 3D.
Yeah.
That's just going to be assumed from now on that it's in 3D.
Yeah. The Sanctum is James Cameron's new movie. This is his new Avatar.
Yeah.
It's basically about cave exploration, and it is also in 3D, of course. Mm-hmm. I saw a trailer for this last night before the Green Hornet, and I don't know, I'm not very interested in it. It just doesn't seem like it's got... It kind of reminds me of... Did you ever see the movie I think it was called Daylight with Sylvester Stallone, where they're stuck in the tunnel?
Yes, I did.
Kind of reminds me of that. They're stuck in this place. They've all got to figure out how to get out. They're in uncharted territory. Nobody's ever been there, and it's adventurers that want to be famous and everything, and it's just... I don't know.
I really like the whole, exploring new and dangerous areas, so I might be into it. And based on his, latest work, I'm assuming it's going to be good, so I'll go see it.
Coming out on DVD and Blu-ray, we've got Red, Secretariat, Saw 3D, The Final Chapter, and The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. So,
Red was awesome. If you didn't get to see it in theaters, you should definitely go see it.
I will definitely rent it.
Lots of explosions, lots of elderly people firing machine guns.
And comedy.
Yeah, and it's so funny.
Yeah, and Saw 3D, do you think that's actually their final chapter?
I don't know. I've seen all of them except this one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. They seem to just rewrite the story every single time so that they can make a new one.
All right, so that's pretty much does it for us for this movie review. We've got our email address at the bottom of the screen if you want to email us. And any comments, suggestions, questions, anything's welcome. And, so...
Send us email. We want your feedback.
We want it. So thank you for watching, and we'll send it back to the studio with Carla and Tom.